How is it going this evening, Land Geek Nation, Land Geek Hive Mind?
Going good, baby. Going good.
It's now, Zano, you got no sound, buddy. I love you. No sound at all. You were in a tunnel. Now there's no sound.
Now you're fired.
Yeah. So anyway, Matt Forbes, how are you? Nice to see you.
Doing good, man. Doing really good. Sold a property yesterday. Life is good.
Yes.
It was
Tell
a
you
good
what.
$18,000 deal. It was a nice little one there. Like,
Ooh, that's awesome.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had I don't think I've told anybody. I might have told Zano, but we had like a record 9 and 9 last month. 9 sales in 9 days.
Yeah, baby.
Now that's nothing like you, Forbes, in the 10 sales in 1 day.
Yeah, well, that was very special, limited circumstances. But I will say this. Ever since I gave back those Florida properties to you, I've had 2 different people who wanted to buy them. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
They're already sold.
I know they are. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. Too late, lady. Why don't you go buy this other chuck land I own? Take that. It's all good. All good in the hood.
All good in the hood. So welcome everybody. The viewers are rolling in. They're just
Buy the singles.
buy the singles exactly. But you know what? If there's one thing we are, it is consistent.
Yes.
That's what the land business is. I mean, I'll take singles all day long, right? That's just like Nite Cap.
I agree with you wholeheartedly on the singles.
So
okay.
Focus.
Demonstrably, yes. So we got people chiming in. Ecat Mars is here. Hello, Ecat. Paul Brewer's here. What's up, buddy?
Paul Brewer.
Haven't seen you on here in a while. Nice to see you.
Baby?
And the Godfather's here. Mark
Whoa.
Podolsky, the
Whoa.
Land Geek himself.
It's gonna be a good old day here, boy.
I get nervous when Mark shows up.
Yeah, now we get performance
Why?
pressure.
I'm kidding. What was that, Zano?
Performance pressure now.
Performance pressure. That's
We're
right.
gonna up our level. Level up instantly.
Level up.
All right. Let's do
Frank
it.
Lee is here. Darren Nichols is here. Darren, happy late birthday. I saw you out celebrating the other night. He's the guy at Facebook stock, Darren Nichols.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not uncomfortable in any way. So when I was stalking you on Facebook, I learned it was your birthday, Darren. Happy birthday!
I watched you with all your friends out. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. By the way, when you were out, I just want to let you know, like I went through your trash. Everything's fine. And happy birthday.
He was at the brewery. I saw pictures. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. No, not scary at all. Okay.
Darren and I, we've talked multiple times. We're buddies. Leave me alone.
Yeah. No, that's usually what they say in a court of law when we're talking about a restraining order. Yeah.
What about Bob?
But we're friends.
What about Bob? Denise, boy, they're rolling in, fellas. Denise Mercury's here. Dave LaFay's here. Sang Tran is here. So yeah, Jeremy Pierce here. We're gonna have a good discussion. We're gonna have a good nightcap tonight. I feel it.
Yes.
So, unlike the last couple weeks, I brought a topic or two.
Hey, look at that. A little prep.
A little prep time. Yeah.
What are you drinking? That looks exactly like what I'm drinking.
It's not Bully Boy. It's a new kind of bourbon, and I can't remember the name of it.
It's
sorry.
that good. Okay.
It's that good. I'll go look in a little bit. But Zano, what are you drinking?
Right now, I'm sipping a fine water. I got a drink on its way. So.
Oh, Laura.
It's a meatloaf.
Neat. Not on the rocks.
Oh man.
All
right. So, fellas, we thought. First, I would just encourage everyone to please ask questions
Yes.
as they pertain or not pertain to whatever the heck we're talking about. Because
Preferably not. Preferably keep us on track would be better than letting us ramble for an hour. Just saying, not saying, just saying.
Rambling is. There's a correlation between the longer nightcap goes and rambling.
I need the business card.
And
card.
hold on one sec.
I booked the
Aaron. Okay. I don't know what just happened.
This is what happens.
It's a live show. I don't know what happened.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
So please ask questions. Also, celebrate wins because we know people are selling a lot of land right now, which is really exciting.
Yes.
But there's also a lot of pain points out there. So let's talk about pain points. But here's a topic. We have a new gal in the Facebook group, and she was asking some questions. She's new to the business and is starting to take action, which is awesome, right?
Awesome.
And she had a few questions yesterday, and I thought we would just talk about a few of the things that she brought up, because I think the few things that she brought up are very common thoughts that people new to the business have. So why don't we talk about those things? So here's the first question she has. Like most of the others in this group, I choose to work in a few popular counties in Arizona. I'm a newbie, and realizing now that the pros, I don't know who the pros are, Mark Podolsky maybe, or some of the others, have already sunk their teeth in, and a lot of wholesale is going on in these counties. Is there a chance for someone like me with a maximum of 1 or 2 properties that I may acquire in the future? Anyway, what she's getting at is there enough meat on the bone for her to work in a county where there are pros working, there are a lot of people working, a lot of people are doing wholesale, and are there just going to be enough deals? Should she switch gears to a less saturated market and then come back where the big players are? And she wants some advice.
Whoa.
Oh, Mike Zano, what are your thoughts?
Mike Zano.
So my thoughts, it kind of, I think about the mailing side of things as well. It's like, all right, a lot of people are mailing this county. Should I even mail this county? Like, am I even going to get a deal? Right. So I think it's sort of a similar thought pattern, right? There's a lot of activity there. Sounds like she may have a couple deals, but I do think that does relate. This is something where timing is, it's just the biggest thing about the mailing is the timing. When it arrives on someone's doorstep, what's going on in their life. So that's why we always say all of us could mail, and we could all buy property from different people at the same time. It's just. So I think the same thing on the marketing side. Is she gets the ad out, someone sees the ad, and somebody is going to buy the property. It's just like, you got people at a parade walking around with all those balloons and those carriages, right? And it's like, they go up and down, and you may have seen that carriage go in front of you 5 or 6 times, but this one time it goes in front of you, right? And you decide you're going to buy a pretzel, or you decide you're going to buy a balloon. It's just the timing of it. So how do you know when your ad is going to, be in front of the right person at the right time? It's just as likely that yours will as will some of the quote unquote pros. So I think it's all about timing. I think it's all about persistence, and I think it's an equal opportunity. If you're going to come to this business and overthink that, you could overthink yourself right out of it, and you wouldn't want to do that. There's a great opportunity here.
Agreed. Matt Forbes, what are your thoughts? First thoughts when you hear those questions?
The safety in numbers. If the big dogs, I'm not one of them, but if the big dogs are in those counties, I would be in those counties. It means those counties work. It's the proof that they definitely work. Is it a little harder to get a deal? Plausibly, that it could be harder there than in an untapped county where you may have 0 chance of selling it. So, like I want to mail in Arizona and Colorado and Florida and all these other places for sure. The reality is there's tens of thousands of parcels, tens of thousands. And like a lot more mail going out. That's okay. It's not a big deal, right? Because the safety of being able to sell it far outweighs the notion of I'm going to go find a new county. And one thing I have done is I'm entrenched in the counties I'm in, and I'm, looking for new counties, and new counties are hard. They're a total pain in the ass because I don't know if I can sell the stuff. So now I'm infinitely more cautious, and it's a whole other thing. If I'm starting out, if I'm new in this business, for sure, I'm sticking where, I see everybody else because there's safety there, and that trumps everything else.
Yeah, exactly. It's follow the breadcrumbs, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Follow the breadcrumbs. Good.
Bosman convinced me to get a corporate credit card for my business after talking with him, right?
Come
A
on.
couple months ago. No, it was like such sound advice. I have $1 million company. I should maybe have a corporate credit card. I don't know. Everything's just cash. We just pay for stuff. We don't go into debt to pay for stuff. And I'm like, wow, okay, like Bosman's right. Like, I guess I should look. And you know what happened in the next 3-4 days? I got like 2 or 3 offers in the mail. I had never gotten those offers before, ever. Or had I? Had I just been throwing them out day after day after day? They just hit at the right time. And now I have like a crap load of Marriott points. And I'm getting a bunch of Southwest points because they hit right when I needed them to hit. How many more offers did they send me in the last 2 years since I started? Or 3 years? I don't know, probably more than 0, right? So it's just dumb luck when you hit, but that's why you mail at scale, right? So the scale makes up for it.
Really interesting when you think about it. I mean, someone's sitting there right now, just like you were, like, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll get a credit card, or maybe, you know what? I'd like to buy a property in Arizona. And as they're, thinking about it all day, that night, they're sitting down in front of their phone or their computer, they're pulling it up, and at that very moment, you're posting your ad, and boom, it's like the universe comes together in a flash, and they contact you. I mean,
Isn't it weird?
but that's just one example. It's timing. It's just timing. Oh, like
Yeah.
you said, man, you weren't. Were they coming before? Probably. Were you not paying attention? Most likely. Were they getting thrown in the trash? Most definitely. But the moment you want it, it's like when you buy a car, and also you see that same car everywhere. It's like, I never knew everybody drove these cars. Well, they're all
Yeah.
over the place. You just weren't
It's
paying
all-
attention to them.
It's all mindset, man. You see your brain is attracted to what you're thinking about. So as soon as I'm thinking about credit cards for the business, like, wow, Marriott, you're so
Yeah.
smart. I mean, I'm already a big Marriott guy from my corporate life. So I know for a fact they've sent me a mailer probably once a week for the last 5 years, or at least 3 years since I started this business. I mean, realistically, right? I'll pay attention from now on and see how many offers I got. I got one in the mail today. And I was like, ha ha ha, you missed out. But whatever.
Well, the reality too is, and we've talked about this before, there's somebody, I don't know, XYZ county, say Apache, maybe she's saying Apache? Did she say the county?
No,
Let's
she
just
just
say
said,
it's Apache County, Arizona. Someone 5 years ago started and they've made hundreds of thousands of dollars there. Someone
Yeah.
starting today, they're going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Someone in 5 years is going to start and make hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what's our excuse? We shouldn't have them. It's either the only excuse. I mean, there is no good excuse. The only reason why we wouldn't succeed is because we just don't pursue it, and we don't stay consistent, and we do what
Yes.
Mansfield says never to do. We quit.
Yeah, just don't quit. All I have to do is not quit. So simple, so hard. Just don't quit. How did I run 13 and a half miles to do 2 separate half marathons at 340 pounds? I just didn't quit. I almost died both times, for sure. I had people who crossed the finish line, then ran back to get me. And I didn't even know these people. That's how bad it was. And they're like, honestly, I'm walking backwards faster than you're running. And I'm like, shut your pie hole. I'm dying. Look at me. I'm dying. And they rode me across the finish line. It's that bad. But you just don't quit. You just
Something
keep
tells me
going.
that you'd be a good triathlete. I bet you're a good swimmer. I can see it. I have a feeling.
I float like nobody's business. I mean, I float legit, right? Like if the ship goes down, I am your life raft. I float in a salt
Everybody to the
in a
floor.
chlorine pool. I can float. It's amazing. We'll have to do it.
Everybody to the Forbes.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of big guys that ride bikes, so I mean, and very well, right? I don't. There's something about that too, like competitively, don't they? I mean, and maybe it's marathons, maybe not like Tour de France, but I know like my buddy who does a lot of riding is like there's a lot of big guys and they just crank, like they're good.
Well, there's my leg muscles are bigger than yours. It is what it is. Also,
all right, we
I
got
can
some
get
comments rolling in.
thank God. Help us. Save us, please.
I do have a question for the viewers. How's the sound? I'm just asking.
Yes.
There's quite a bad echo coming from somewhere. Love you, Mike Z.
It's Zano. It's always Zano. Zano, mute your mic for a second. Mute yourself. Let us know. You muted? Anybody hear it anymore? No, it's gone because it's Mike's setup. It's always Mike's.
Maybe it's just my gain or my. Hold on, there we go.
So
Maybe it's just your
I
crap
did
microphone.
I did comment on that post yesterday as well, and just made sure to iterate to the person that it's really, really hard to conceptualize how much land is out there. It's
stupid.
It's stupid.
It's stupid.
It's millions of acres, of acres of vacant land parcels in Arizona. Not tens of thousands, like millions of acres. And, like Scott Todd said the other night, we had a great Q&A with Scott Todd. He came on, he talked about flight school, and he's like, listen, there's millions of acres of land in Arizona. Do you know how many Arizona land listings there are on Landmodo? And Landmodo is a legit tool. But Matt Forbes, what's your guess? How many Arizona land listings are on Landmodo?
I don't know, 130? 90?
What do you say, Mike, 900? Oh. But even still, we're looking at 900 land listings, and half of those are 3 months old or 6 months old or sold or whatever. You're really looking at a couple. It's craziness how big this market is. So don't let that stop you from taking action. The most important thing is just to take action, follow the breadcrumbs, go where Matt Forbes is.
I'm in Apache.
You will come.
I'm in Apache. Come on down. Apache welcomes you with big giant arms. Like, come on down. There's a gajillion parcels. What do we care? I'm not gonna say who sent me a letter this week, Scott Bosman, but now I know how much you're paying, which was awesome. So yeah, that happens.
Ooh, I think I know where that is.
Yeah, you do. And I was surprised at what you offered. I'm gonna change my offer price.
Did you with one specific letter to throw you off your game?
Was I a little high? Is that a little high?
It was a little higher than me for sure. But I think I also hadn't raised my prices ever, and that's a mistake, and that's why my response rate was down. So, but I got it in traveling mailbox, and I'm like, son of a gun, I'm like, Ann, look at this. I'm like, oh yeah, open and scan that thing for sure. We're gonna print that out. I did.
That's a good mailing for me, by the way.
I bet it was. I'm sure it was. I bet you bought a lot.
No, I mean, it's not a crazy, but I've gotten like a 2% to 3% response rate on that. So that's.
No, I think your pricing, by the way, between you and I, because you know where you mailed me, probably. I thought your pricing was spot on.
Oh, well, thank you.
We were going to reprice, and I was like, this is kind of where we need to be. And then I'm like, hey, confirmation. So either you're selling me down the river with your fake offer letters, or you and I are in agreement.
Makes
probably
me feel good.
A.
See what happens when we all work together. Like, there's touchy good feel. There's good feelings. There's validation. There's
Yeah. So you'll like this. So my kids are trying to do it, right? They're 12 and 14, and they sent out their own mailer, like legit their own mailer. Like they found it and they priced it and the whole in Arizona, right? Pretty safe place to be, right? Which is why I had them go there, and we've been waiting for that mail to hit. And I finally got my first, like, super angry, how dare you eat blank and die letter back. And I looked at it at lunch and was like, honey, the mail hit. This is great. We're gonna start getting good responses now. We're gonna go buy property. My kids were pumped. They're like, wait, doesn't this make you mad? I'm like, no, it means the mail's got there. This is excellent news. Wait a couple of days. You guys will be buying the week.
Oh, echo. Bad echo. Bad echo. Mike said, we got some comments. Let's address the comments, and then we'll go on to part B of our topics. Jeremy Peer says he bought his first property this week, so that feels cool. So, nice. Jeremy, I have a question. Other land investors in that county, are there pros in that county like Matt Forbes? I bet there are. But congrats to you, because Jeremy just started flight school, and it's awesome.
That's awesome. You just made money.
You just made money. It's
the opportunity to make money, and you will realize that money over the next month or 6 weeks or whatever. But this is where you made it. You don't make your money when you sell it. You make your money when you buy it. So you just made money. Feel that way.
Awesome. Matt, let's see, the Land Geek. Yeah, sorry about that, Mark. The typing was loud. That was me typing. I apologize.
I thought he was making fun of me.
No, he was making fun. He was making fun of himself because on recent roundtable podcasts, well, he had a very loud, clanky water bottle, and Scott Todd gave him hell because of it. So
Good.
yeah,
Excellent.
good,
That's
exactly.
true.
Ken Green says, if the pros are there, you're in the right place. There's plenty of land. Bottom line, there it is. That's the Cliff Notes version of everything we just said. Frank Leah. Okay, Frank's got a question. Ready?
You.
And by the way, Mike, everybody says we sound great, so it just must be, I don't know.
Yeah, don't be sad, clown, in the corner.
Don't be
over
sad.
there.
It's okay.
Don't be sad, clown.
Mister. Oh, now you're muted. You're muted on purpose? You're just not going to talk the rest of the time because you're
he's
mad?
all bitter now.
When I need to, so I can reduce the echo.
All right.
We couldn't hear you.
So here's Frank. My bumblebee's better than yours. I had a buyer send the down payment. He sent the contract, but the buyer's not responding. It's been about 10 days since I sent the contract. How long should I wait before trying to resell the property? That is a great question. I think it happens to all of us at one point or another. It does not happen very often, but it does happen. So how long is Frank going to wait on this guy? Matt?
Frank's going to wait a while because I don't know. It depends. Frank, I'm assuming you're newer in the business. I don't know that to be true, but if that's the case, you're going to wait a while because you're really going to want this guy to buy the property. I can tell you right now that I'm not waiting. No way. Like, I make my DocuSigns or my sign nows expire in less time than you've waited. Dude, if you haven't signed in 10 days, I'm out. I would seriously consider, for me, I would leave a couple of voicemails, send some texts, send some emails, but I will refund the down and be done with that transaction with that person. And if they want to come back to me and be like, no, I really do want to buy it, I'm out. I used to let it sit when I was new, and because I had a buyer, and like it's hard when you're new. But eventually you're just like, yeah, no. Like, you could sell that to somebody else pretty quick. So I'm not waiting around forever, man. That's my answer. 10 days is a long time. 2 weeks, that's a long time.
Zeno, similar advice?
Yes, and by the way, I found the problem out. My mic wasn't fully plugged in, so the echo should be gone.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, great point, Matt.
We'll see.
You just want this. You work hard for this, and then you just waiting for them to perform execute the agreement, and there's an opportunity cost there because there are other people out there that aren't going to drag their feet. And, there's an abundance of buyers out there, just like there's an abundance of sellers. So, I like the idea what Matt's saying. You have a deadline, it goes over it, it's done. And that's it, if I had them paying the dock fee first, I wouldn't even be refunding the dock fee at that point. But if they asked for it, I would, but I wouldn't just go ahead and refund it to them.
So that's a really interesting point. I won't send the documents until I have the dock fee, because of that. That's the reason right there. Is I do not want to go do the documents. Now, to be fair, it's a mail merge, and I do it in about 4 minutes. But I don't care. I want that $249 because I almost never refund that unless there's a really good reason, right? So it's like, yep, you can put the down. And, we need to have a schedule for all this other stuff. Ooh, Frank is saying, I have both the dock fee and the down. So I'm starting to send emails at 10 days, Frank, being like, hey, I need you to execute this agreement. Is there a problem opening it? Like, hey, what's the deal? I need to hear from you. Here we go. You have X amount of days, right?
Yeah, so there could just be some confusion where he thinks he's all set, and just next month he's just been making his monthly payments, and maybe he's giving that much money. Maybe it was just something he misunderstood, the buyer,
Oh, okay. Hold on. He said he sent the money through the mail. Contract was physical. Okay, so I've never done a physical contract. Also, I do have something else that someone else that wants a property already because I left the ad up. So one, you're my hero for leaving the ad up. You're damn right. That's awesome. Two, listen, I've had a lot of problems with the mail. Like, I won't let people send me a check in the mail because of physically the mail. The mail is just a disaster over the last year with COVID. It's gotten better since Christmas ended, but it's still having huge mail problems. It's very possible that guy actually did that. So pro tip for anybody who's sending anything through the mail, you get the clear envelope with the red stripe at the top, and it's priority. It's like $5, but they treat it differently than first class mail. So that's very possible, and I guess I would sort of wait that out. I don't want to be a jerk about it, but at some point he's going to have to do something with that check, put a stop payment on it, and just do it another way.
Good advice. Good advice, fellas.
Well, that was a multi-layered cookie.
There is a lot of echo. Matt Forbes, you hearing a lot of echo?
Yeah, it's awful. It's Mike. I love you, Mike. Literally, I'm going to drive to Haverhill, and I'm going to take you. I'm going to pick you up and to bring you down to my basement.
I can't wait to go to Haverhill someday.
Haverhill. I said that to a woman at work for real. I was like, "Oh, Haverhill," and she's like, "It's Haverhill." I was like, "Oh no, I know. I was making fun of the name of your town." And I just realized that you're not on this podcast. You're on a different podcast. So sorry. All right, Frank, he said he sent it UPS. So do you have tracking? That's my next question. If you're sending something UPS, you might as well get tracking on it. Anyways, sorry.
It's all good. Land Concierge says we all sound great. Zach, that's not true. We don't sound, somebody's off. Facebook user, who's this? David Lamatia. Oh, this is cool. So David's in coaching, and he says, finally, an infinite return. So he had an investing partner pay for property. He sold the property for cash. His largest cash deal too. 5.5 times return. Is that what we're saying here? So what's your net on that, David? What'd you make on this deal?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Give me the numbers.
P.S. He loves the show. Aw.
First time caller, long time listener.
Yeah, we got 40 people watching right now, fellas.
Wow.
Of the 40 people out there, there's got to be questions about land investing. We know that some of you just stumbled upon us on YouTube, and you're wondering what the heck. Who first of all, who are these three goofballs, and why are they drinking publicly and talking about this really obscure topic called land? So,
because land is awesome. That's why, and so is my alcohol.
Here's what I would say to those people who stumbled upon us tonight. Go read the book Dirt Rich by Mark Podolsky. It will teach you everything, maybe not everything. It'll teach you everything you want to know about land investing before you start getting into land investing. There we go. Peter Peel says we need Matt Forbes on the roundtables. That's nice.
No, you don't need that. No one needs me on those things. Those things are perfect just the way they are.
You have really great advice, Matt. I have to say, you are becoming, even though you don't think you are, you're becoming a seasoned investor, and you're like one of the pros. You're getting there.
Nope. Just sort of hung around here long enough. Not a professional.
Katie Juno says our contracts give them 7 days to complete all paperwork and get any remaining down payment in. Love it. Put it in the contract.
Katie, genius.
Genius, Katie.
It only took me like 5 of those issues that Frank had to finally put that into my contract.
Yeah.
And tell people.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, Mike, question for you. This is from Logan, when collecting a down payment, do you add sales tax to the down payment? If so, what state sales tax amount do you add? The state of the property location or the state of your business address?
Don't add sales tax to the down payment.
You're very soft, but you sound less echoey.
Yes.
So I don't add sales tax to the down payment. Is there an echo?
No, the echo is gone.
I found the setting issue, by the way.
You sound amazing. The mic's plugged in. The settings are set. We're good.
I thought he was going to go ballistic. Okay, good. You sound marvelous. Little light, but marvelous.
So yeah, no, No sales tax added in. I don't know anybody who does that personally, unless I'm mistaken.
No,
You
it's
don't
not-
pay sales tax on your house. You pay excise. You pay a different tax on your
there's
house.
dock
right?
fees, there's closing fees, there's all that type of thing. That I don't think there's sales. You don't need to do sales tax on a real estate transaction.
Yeah,
far
we're
as
no.
what
I mean,
what
we're
I know.
no lawyers, but I don't think I don't know anyone who does either. But it was an interesting question where I'm like, hey, wait, why don't we? Here's my answer. You ready for this? Because Tate would have told me to. Literally, that has saved my mental state so many times. You have no idea. Because Tate would have made me do it. But as I think about the house I own, I didn't pay 6.25% on my house.
Right.
It's taxed differently. You pay those freaking bills that come in the mail, like 40 at a time.
The Godfather chimed in and he
Thank
said
you, Mark.
there's no sales tax in real estate transaction. There you go.
There it is. See, Mark would have made me pay it if I had to pay it. That's
There's
the
no
beauty of
worries.
going through coaching. Like all the major things, they tell you.
Now I will say, Logan, when you sell a piece of property, depending on the state you're in, there may be some nominal tax fee that you have to pay. Like I think Nevada, California. Like in California, when you sell a property, you have to pay like 70 cents per $1,000 made or something like that. I can't remember what it is, but it's something goofy. So when you on the sales side, there's some nominal amount of taxes you need to pay, but otherwise, yeah, no sales tax. And
that nominal tax, by the way, it's called capital gains. Get excited.
No.
The more of that you pay, the better off you are. Get
that's
excited.
yeah. Yes, you need to take Scott Todd's accounting class, Logan.
I did. Oh,
Logan. I meant Logan.
I'm like, I did take that. For sure. By the way, that's a decent class. That's well worth taking.
Sang Tran, Sang is here, saying welcome. He's my brother from Minnesota, just up the river. And he's starting flight school next week. So Sang, congrats.
No kidding.
Best decision you ever made.
Did you go through his trash too, or was that just the other guy?
Oh man, that's just my brother Darren. Sang says, where can I find parcel size when it's not available on the county property tax roll list? That's a great question, because we all run into that when we're first starting in this business.
Assessors.
Yeah, there's other county sites. There's also other software programs you could use. I mean, you could go to like a data tree or something of that nature, and you could take a look at it. But there's going to be some record in the county at some point. You could even give a phone call if you wanted, right over to the assessor and talk to them.
And Saying here's what I've done in the past. Those tax roll lists from the county, it might have every piece of information you need except for that parcel size. So, but if you go to the county GIS website, you plug in the parcel number. Oh, there's the parcel size, right? So there are ways to extract data from the GIS website and combine it with the list you have. You can hire a VA to basically screen scrub the GIS website. So you can get a list with parcel information and combine it with information from a different area. You just got to know where to look in those counties.
This is the origins of Frankensteining a list.
Frankenstein, yes.
Aww.
We like to Frankenstein the list. Or use a service like DataTree.
Yeah. I like to cut a check and then just give me the list. Just give me the damn list.
If you go to the landgeek.com, if you go to datatree.com/thelandgeek, you'll get some Land Geek pricing on DataTree. And that's a nice service for a lot of folks. Keith Forche says, who has wholesale? We're all looking. Why are we all looking?
Because it sells.
Selling right now.
It's hot. Hot.
Selling right now. So, all right, awesome. Should we go to part B of the question? So,
sure. Okay.
When I had mentioned to the new investor yesterday in the Facebook group that there's a ton of land, you need to have this abundance mentality. She responded, and in the response, there are a few layered questions again that I thought we'd just talk about. So she says, Scott, I agree about the wide availability of vacant, undeveloped land. Most of it was without any utilities, and I'm not looking to add value to it before selling. That's good because we don't do that. I would ask myself, would I buy that land? And my answer consistently has been no. While I get there is a while I get there is a pig for every barn, like Mark says at every boot camp. I feel like I'm greasing the fire of the big player areas in the area. So then she kind of starts talking again about the big player areas. So let's go to the first part of the question. Would I buy that land? And my answer has been consistently no. What's your response to that, Matt Forbes?
That's wrong. You're incorrect. I love you dearly, whoever you are. But no, wrong. We're dying for property. If you would just go buy that property, I would guarantee you can wholesale that at a minimum. Here's the problem. There's only a handful of properties that I would want to keep that I own, and I own a lot.
But does that matter?
A lot. It does not matter. It's not that there's a pig for every barn, as in there's that one guy who's going to find it. There's a lot of guys who want that property. You have to just have a little faith that you will find a buyer for it. And if you're in an area where there's a lot of others investors and you're pricing it remotely correctly, you can wholesale it and get out of it. So there's very little risk. You just have to get your head around the fact that you don't want to live there, and that's okay. That's the part, right? People who sell surfboards don't necessarily surf, right? You don't have to love it. You just have to understand it and buy it correctly. That's a tough one. It took me a long time to get over that. Long time. Because there's no way I'm driving to Texas and I want that property. There's just no chance. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But I can tell you over and over and over and over again, like hundreds of times, I talk to people who definitely want that property and who pay me every month for it. So I urge you to get out of your own way on that one. It's hard.
Awesome. Zeno, what are your thoughts? You love this topic.
I do. And by the way, Matt, although you wouldn't love it, you would go camp on it on a tent that's too small for you.
So here's the thing is he knows that I went out to those properties, and as much as I think it's desert in the middle of nowhere and it's lame and no one would ever want to live there, it was gorgeous. And if I didn't live 800 million miles away, I would go camping there. And I think I'd love it. Truthfully.
Yes,
but I didn't feel that way when I bought it, for sure.
It's a freedom. Look at it. If you ever go to coffee shops lately and you see that they have 50,000 different flavors, and some of them are like gingerbread, and then some of them are like bubble gum, like they have bubble gum coffee, or just think of it. There's just such weird coffee flavors, and you're like, well, I would never. Well, I'm sure the owner of that coffee shop probably doesn't drink all those coffees either, but there's customers that love those coffees, and so he supplies them. If you own a coffee shop, should you just serve regular black coffee because that's how it's supposed to be, consumed? I'm not going to have hazelnut, vanilla. Who would drink that, right? It doesn't matter what we like. It's what the customer likes. It's what the people want, and you fulfill that need.
Yeah. It is hard, though. I mean, like, to whoever's point that was, I don't know what the name was, but it's hard to get your head around that one. That just because you don't like it doesn't mean that other people wouldn't like it. It just at the end of the day, they do.
Well, if you look at some of these locations, like the ones you're talking about out near El Paso, these people living in these congested in these cities, and they want to go out to these wide open places where there's nobody can tell them what to do because there's no restrictions. They can shoot their guns, drive their HVs, ride their horses, do whatever they want with complete freedom. And they don't care that it's desert land. It's freedom.
Yep.
You're selling them freedom.
True. Let freedom ring. Had to.
So there's a Scott Todd saying, and we've all heard it 1,000 times, and that's "Don't be a land snob." Now, when he says that, it sounds a little derogatory, but what he really means by that is it doesn't matter as long as your pricing's right, because they will all sell. It's more about showing up on the mailing side, showing up on the marketing side. If you are buying that land at 25 cents on the dollar, you are going to sell that property, especially if there is activity going on in that county where all of the pros are working, and you're going to sell the property. And it, like Forbes, you have, and Mike Zano, I know you have, we have all sold properties that we never, ever, ever thought we'd sell, or we never, ever, ever thought that anybody would want this property for any gol darn reason, because it's a rock, or it's a swamp, or it's a mountain, or whatever.
Yeah.
They just, eventually they all sell.
So there is a flip side to this coin, though, which is properties that you connect with are easier for you to sell. It doesn't mean that the other ones don't sell. So for whoever that person was, if desert land in the middle of Arizona or Nevada or Texas doesn't get it done for you, like, okay, no problem. Go find places where the community is at, where it does, where there's fishing nearby, or they're on a mountain, or there's a lot of trees, or, think about what you like, because you'll have an easier time selling what you connect with. That's a Scott Todd saying all the way. I do agree with that. There is a point where you're like, I don't care anymore. I get it. It sells. I'm good. I can go sell anything. We're all set. There's a market for all this stuff. But maybe in the beginning, just switch your focus to somewhere where you think you connect more to the land, and maybe that's a really good place for you to start.
Yeah. Matt Forbes, you were a little bit of a land snob back in the day.
That was good advice. That's not land snob. That's just like,
I'm saying you used to be. You used to be. Like, I remember having conversations with you. You're like, I don't want any of that land. Like,
for sure.
You talked to me about a particular county, a particular area, and you're like, I don't want any of that. I want trees. I'm like, all right, fine. Go find your trees.
It's funny. I'm still
go overpay for your trees, and it's fine.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, just kidding. Ken Green says, you are not the market, but there's someone that thinks the world is coming to an end. Oh, living in Boulder this week makes him want to go to those spots to escape. Ken, that's some perspective that I don't think we were expecting, but that's true. Like, how many people come home at the end of the day and they feel that they want to escape? And we provide that for people. Like, we have land parcels. I just sold one this week to someone who's like, listen, I've been going to that area my entire life. I love going out there, and I love just sitting there. And there's just quiet. And my grandpa had a property 2 miles away from this one, and I want this one because it's going to feel exactly the same way. Like, that was a cool conversation to have with this guy.
Yeah. Great. So it's $500 down, and there's a $249 doc fee, so it's $749 now. And what's your credit card number? Let's take care of that transaction. Done.
You're so insensitive, Matt. You're such a.
I'm not.
You have a heart. You have a heart. You have a hard heart. You have a hard heart, Matt Forbes. Hard heart.
I don't have a heart. Is I think where you're going, and that's fine. Great. Give me your money.
I think he's forcing him to take the action that he knows is best for him. He needs this property.
Yeah, I'm trying to help. I'm a freaking helper, Bosman. Thank you.
You are a helper. You are a helper. David Johnson has a question. If the delinquent tax roll from the county is an unworkable format, would you rely on data from DataTree or Agent Pro 247 instead of trying to work in a different county? Mike Zale.
I do rely on the information from DataTree, and I trust it. So I would definitely, if that's the question, you're saying he's getting some difficult data from the county, and can we then convert over to DataTree and just trust that?
Yeah. Have you ever seen those goofy text files that counties send you? I think that's probably what he's referring to. So first off,
you want it? Here it is. Good luck.
Yeah, there's better data out there. First off, and secondly, David, don't feel like you have to stay with the delinquent tax list. the delinquent tax list is a great place to start, but like we mail everybody. We talk about that all the time, right? So, so there are different areas to get that data.
Yeah, I'm out on the delinquent tax roll at this point. I haven't show one in years. I don't care.
I gotta show you guys this. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So,
is this the bourbon that you're drinking that you don't even know the name of?
Yeah, it's really good too.
Zeno, you need to have a cocktail, man.
I gotta show you this.
Don't be so upset about the mic thing. Who cares?
It's from my wife.
Oh! Does that say flight school on it?
It's baseball. It's baseball season.
Yeah.
And look at that. It's a baseball
That's a glass you can pour from?
Decanter.
Cool.
Yeah, and the glasses are my favorite. They're heavy, and look at the bottom of them.
Oh, it looks like a baseball.
Yeah, go Cubs. My wife got that for me. Isn't she nice?
Aw, I asked her to.
To go in my office. It goes in my office.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So, thought I'd show you guys. It is Nite Cap.
That replaces the books you don't read.
That's funny. That's really funny.
That was really funny, actually. Yeah, it was
Where
good.
are the books? Where's the library
Let's,
stack?
you know what? It's right over here on this desk. On the other desk, I can show them to you if you'd like.
It's just off camera, Mike. It's just off camera. Don't you worry about it, big boy.
I've actually I've finished these 3 in the last week. So just so you know.
You know, I'm looking at that. I'm kind of nervous about how Jaws is below our sign. It's like he's coming for us.
I know, right?
Oh, the Land Geek guy's sign? I know.
Oh, that's a nice sign back there with just you two. That's cute.
It's signed.
When would we ever have an opportunity to do
Unbelievable.
the 3 of us on a couch?
That's signed by Steven Spielberg, by the way. That Jaws sign.
Is it really?
We're gonna get new ones.
Good.
And I think the other one is signed by Mike Zano and Scott Bossman.
It is, yes.
That hurts, but okay. I mean,
maybe put together, we could take a group photo, and we could make some sort of nightcap out of it.
That sounds good.
Yeah, maybe we could do that.
We'll
by the way,
to Wisconsin or wherever.
Speaking of milestones, in about a couple weeks, we're celebrating a big milestone. Talk about being consistent and having 10 viewers the first year on average, 20 the second year. This year, I think we're probably at 30 viewers on average.
Yeah, huge.
It coincides.
Both viewers are here tonight.
Coincides with our 3-year anniversary.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to make real money on YouTube in 2094. That sounds good.
What do you got for whiskey in there?
No kidding.
I told you, I can't remember the name of the bourbon. I got to go get it. I'm sorry. It's like...
Oh, God.
It's good, though.
Here it is.
Commercial break, folks.
There it is.
Right back.
Any other questions? Any other wins out there? We got a couple minutes left. We thank you all for coming. Kevin Pierney's here. Kevin, it's really great to see you here. He says it's amazing how many people love and will pay good money for remote desert squares. That's very true.
It's unfathomable, is what it is.
It really
defies logic, but it's true.
I just talked to a guy the other day. He's in flight school currently, and when you go into flight school, you get a couple coaching calls. So we were having a coaching call, and he was telling me about one of his recent wins, and he bought this property wholesale, and he bought it at a really good price. However, he was freaking out about it because it was on the side of a mountain. And
okay.
He's like, there's no way I'm ever going to be able to sell this. And I don't know if he just didn't do his due diligence carefully enough before he bought it or what, or just, needed to buy a property because, the part of flight school, it's kind of awesome. Like, you need to start buying property. And part of the beauty of it is you need to leave the emotions behind and just go do it. So he did it. He left the emotions behind. He went and did it. But after he did it, he had a little bit of fear associated with this purchase because he's like, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to sell it. And then he had a guy go out there and say, dude, it's on the side of a mountain. Like, why would I buy this? So then when that happens, and that happens, right, you have people that go out to the property and they're like, dude, I hate the property. I'm not going to buy something like this. And then a week later, somebody else goes out to the property and they're standing on the side of the mountain. He's like, I absolutely love it. I want it. And he paid cash for it. It's, I don't know. It's cool, right?
Very.
Very.
Anyways, I ramble.
No, it's look at the same
had a
thing
few
happens on the
bourbons.
buy side where I remember sending out letters for $100 for these little properties, and people, one guy on the phone just yelling, "I can't believe you would offer me blah blah blah," and you're thinking, well, maybe I shouldn't have did this, and then as soon as you hang up, the phone rings again. Yeah, I'm calling about that property. You mailed me. Yeah. How do I get my $100?
Yeah,
It's the same thing on on both sides.
it's awesome. Dave LaFay, that's funny. So, okay. Mark, you might not even know this. Dave LaFay has a question. Scott, this is nice of you. Give us some closure on Erin's SNL interview. So, Erin had, about a month ago, she just kind of willy-nilly joins this SNL, what do you call it? Screening?
Tryout?
Audition. Thank you.
Audition.
She joins this SNL audition because they're looking for comedians from home. They're looking for people who don't have any experience in the entertainment industry or comedy or whatever. They just want to start talking to people who are comedians in their home. Erin applies. She passes the first round. She goes to the second round call. She passes the second round. So she goes from 20 people to 10 people to 5 people. And then she was actually in the finals last week, and she was on a call live with Seth Rogen, which is crazy. And
Seth Meyers.
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen. Oh my God. That's
I thought it was going to be Seth Meyers. It was Seth. So it was Erin, my wife, was on a call live with Seth Rogen and like one other person. So Dave LaFay, we don't really know yet what's going to happen, but it's kind of crazy that my wife Erin could be like.
Were you spying in on the call?
No, because she was down at her store. I was here at Nite Cap. She needed a quiet place. She was down at the store, and so she did this. She did this live.
100% she'll be on Saturday Night Live. 100%.
Isn't that crazy? It's
Girls are
craziness.
nuts.
So we're gonna see what. And you know what? If Saturday Night Live doesn't happen, like they're like, you need to be in commercials and you need to do voiceover work and you have a really great voice and you need to do some jingles for us and all this stuff. So. She's a star. Mark, you're exactly right. She's a star. It's craziness. So it's our lives are it's been a little bit of a crazy month. In the Boston household.
Land.
Bye bye land. Bye bye land.
Of course. Do it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So awesome. Well, it's fun stuff. She's awesome. Well, any other questions out there? Comments. We got, we've been on for an hour. Mark, it's so nice to have you on here, watching us. So good to see you on here. Kevin Pierney's very good to see you on here as well. I don't know if you guys know or not, but Kevin's had he's been with us for a while. He comes into the Nite Cap a lot, and that's awesome. And he's had a rough few months, and it's just good to see him here. And I won't go into it, but very good to see you here. So nice to see you. But yeah, otherwise, guys, thank you. Coming up on the 3-year anniversary. It's gonna be fun.
Have to do something big.
Should do a special show. Wow.
We should do something big. Yeah, I think we should.
Do a Friday night show.
Maybe a Friday night show.
We could actually all get a little loose because nobody. Okay, well, I guess.
You know what?
I don't have to go to work since you don't work anymore and you're already done for the week. Maybe a Friday night show. Who knows? Anybody down to watch a Friday night show? Is that
Let's be
Friday
bold.
Night-ish?
Let's be bold. Let's be bold, shall we? Let's set the date right now for the 3-year anniversary.
Okay.
We're gonna set the date for the 3-year anniversary show. Is that okay?
You sure?
We can do whatever we want.
It's your
We
show.
run the show.
All right, we're gonna have a Friday Nite Cap for the 3-year anniversary. It's gonna be
Friday night.
Friday, April 16th at 10 p.m.
Where'd you pull
Eastern.
April 16th from? Just from your bum?
No, that's like the 3-year anniversary.
Oh, is it legit? Like that's the time? Okay.
It's right around that time. It's really
I
close.
love it.
For all intents and purposes.
So Zano, you and I should be together. Bosman can be remote. I'll come to your house.
Sounds great.
You guys are
Bosman won't mind.
jerks.
Bosman
You're
won't mind.
jerks.
He won't
You're
get
jerks.
angry right now.
Right.
We like watching his face turn red, folks. Check it out. Check it out.
Look how mad
It is red right now. All right, I gotta go. I'm done.
Haverhill.
Mike, next week, Wednesday or Thursday?
What's today?
Today is Thursday the 25th.
It's Thursday. Shake and
It's
bake.
going to be Wednesday.
Wednesday. Any special topics next week you guys want us to talk about? I think we haven't had a special guest on in a while, so I think we
have a guest.
I think we should have a guest on.
That sounds
Maybe we'll have
delicious.
my brother Darren Nichols on. He's killing it.
Yeah, we can talk about his trash.
Wow.
You know who we need to have on, which we haven't had on.
Taria.
is Taria. Look at
Yeah.
that. Just same time.
Solid.
Did you see that? That means
What is-
Taria, you have to come on.
Mike Zano, do you remember that segment we used to have?
You complete me.
Do you remember that
Oh, he's
segment?
gonna find it.
It's when you and I we used to like
There it
back
is.
in the day we had all these segments. Do you remember this one?
Back when we
Oh, wait.
prepped and we cared.
Yeah, I mean we prepped a lot, right? And wow, I can't even find it. I can't find it.
Since you threw
Anyway.
it probably behind you last time you used it.
You complete
Lost
me.
in the closet.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Have a great
Taria, I'm calling you tomorrow. We'll talk to you later. Have a good night.
Goodbye.